Imagine you have a neighbor right next to your room. They are noisy, they are annoying, and you would give anything to slap them right on the face then and there. But the wall between is keeping your slaps from reaching them. That's exactly where every Terrarian's dreams come true with Crystal Wild Shard. But instead of a satisfying slap, you will need to do with a stun-locking magical lens that is filled with neighborly love. Jokes aside, Crystal Wild Shard doesn't only look beautiful, it also packs quite a punch. However, due to where it drops from and people's expectations from that monster, it is usually not a very welcomed item. But if you're a mage player, would you use it or skip it for other options? In the end, is Crystal Wild Shard a useless item, or is it a hidden gem? Hello to everyone watching this, I am Synthbanana and this is Why Would You Use, a series on Terraria items and their usefulness. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this and ring the bell for future notifications. So now, let's see what this colorful rock candy can do. Crystal Wild Shard is a hard mode magic weapon dropped by hallowed mimics. Since hallow spreads as soon as you enter hard mode and hallowed mimics start spawning, you can get this item right after killing Wall of Flesh. Which means Crystal Wild Shard goes under early hard mode in our progression line. But you still need to find hallowed mimics and be able to kill them because these guys are not only super rare but they're also difficult as hell. You can find them randomly in underground hollow biome and try to fight them there, but since they have a huge health pool and deal tons of damage, it is best if you have an open area before touching one. Or you can play smart and spawn them in a much safer place. Gather 15 souls of light in underground hollow and craft them into a key of light with a workbench. Place the key in an empty chest and be prepared to get licked. If you are lucky, you will get Crystal Wild Shard from hallowed mimic with 25% chance. So then what can this purple magic stick do? When you use Crystal Wild Shard, it will consume 13 mana to create a magical spike. The spike lingers for a while and keeps hitting all enemies inside continuously. This attack ranges from 16 to 18 tiles and I have no idea why there is even a distance randomization here, but one important point to keep in mind is that the head is the best part. And by that, I mean the tip of the attack deals 25% more damage than the rest. If you absolutely want to min-max your DPS, be my guest to do a just the tip challenge. If all you want is big damage, however, Crystal Wild Shard may not be the best option for you as there are harder hitting magic weapons in early hard mode. But that doesn't mean the Indigo magic stick is a weak weapon. The damage output is actually more than enough for any early hard mode enemy, and the damage is even better than what you see in the tooltip, as Crystal Wild Shard actually has a hidden armor penetration stat of 10. Which means extra 5 damage to most enemies compared to not having any armor penetration. But of course, we still have not talked about the most important part of this pink magic stick. Start of hard mode is where you will be spending a ton of time underground and many weapons in this stage of the game cannot pierce through walls. Pair this with an increasing number of enemy types and stuff that can travel through blocks and you get the problem. Crystal Wild Shard is an absolute gift for underground exploration as you can simply ignore walls to attack. The range isn't the best, but you don't need range when the enemy can't even touch you. And even if you are directly in front of a mob, you can easily stun lock it with Crystal Wild Shard thanks to its perfect knockback and quick hits. So now that we know it is a perfectly useful weapon for underground exploration, it is time to check how it fares against bosses. Before doing this test, I never used Crystal Wild Shard in boss fights because of its short range and non-optimal damage, but test results actually changed my mind. I have fought against Destroyer, Queen Slime, Twins, and Skeleton Prime to test the Magenta Magic Stick, and these are the kill times. It took me 5 tries to kill the Destroyer, and I died to other bosses at least once or twice. So once again, Crystal Wild Shard is not the safest weapon for boss fights, but holy hell, it took 1.5 minutes to kill the Destroyer, and it wasn't even the best run I had. Even without comparing this to other weapons, I can easily say that this weapon absolutely shredded the Metal Worm. But for the other 3 bosses, I wouldn't ever try to use it again. Even if the damage was high, trying to land a shot on Twins was like a stupid trial of patience. Apart from massacring the Destroyer, Crystal Wild Shard isn't a weapon you want to do bosses with. But what better way is there to compare weapons than to kill some bosses with them? So I chose weapons from the same progression point and damage type, which are Meteor Staff, Spirit Flame, Golden Shower, Magic Dagger, Sky Fracture and Crystal Serpent. For the target practice boss, I have chosen Destroyer, specifically because that is the only one Crystal Wild Shard is strong against and the only boss I personally would use it for. And these are the times it took me to kill the Destroyer with the weapons. First of all, I am still surprised that the Violet Magic Stick only took 130. It is absolutely the best weapon if you can take the risk in the fight, and I really wouldn't recommend doing that in Master Mode or higher difficulties. To be honest, I didn't know Spirit Flame would do this well, but the flames it spawns do area damage which hits Destroyer a lot per flame. And I'm glad I checked Golden Shower. Most people think it's just a support weapon, but you can see here that it did perfectly well here, even though Destroyer doesn't get affected by its debuff. On the other hand, we have the absolute worst options, Sky Fracture and Crystal Serpent, which I won't ever use against Destroyer again. Crystal Wild Shard is a very specific weapon with a very specific place to drop. In my mage playthroughs, I do try my luck against hallowed mimics, and if I get the item, I use it a lot while exploring. But if you ask me if I would grind it for 5 or more tries from the mimics, probably not. Hard mode is where mages start to shine and start having a lot of options, so even if I enjoy using this weapon a lot, I wouldn't especially grind for it. And now, I know that if I get a Crystal Wild Shard, I am definitely going to murder that metal worm with this, even if it takes me a few tries. But how about you? Do you use Crystal Wild Shard in your playthroughs, and have you tried using it against bosses? Or are you part of the ranger gang who hates seeing it drop instead of Daedalus Stormbow? Let me know in the comments, and thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe for more Terraria content. See you in the next video, and as always, have a great day.